Goeiemôre, good morning.
Goeiemôre, dis 'n splinternuwe dag met die naweek net om die draai en ons is reg om hom saam met jou aan te pak.
Look at me, I like to move it. I like to move it.
Vanoggend is daar sommer 'n danspassie
Daai
op
was die
veel
oulikste
by.
teddybeer, bobbejaantjie ding in Madagascar.
teddybeer.
Nee, wat was dit geweest? Eekorinkie.
Dink 'n nagaapie of ietsie. Ja.
Klawie
Ken dit wanneer die-
Ja, dit was baie lekker. Els, fris en vars.
Nou weet ons wat jou gunsteling animasierolprent is. Pita maar
Een van 'n
ja.
knaagdiertjie, ja. Dit was al die jare Lion King, maar die oorspronklike een.
Ja.
Voor al die weergawe, toe was daar mos een wat mooi gemaak is. Maar die res tussenin was vir my net een te veel. Maar voordat ons nou by vandag se Cartoon Network uitkom, kom ons kyk wat's vandag in ons program. Ons gaan vandag na 'n paar besonderse Suid-Afrikaanse Alright, I like to move it. Ons begin weer. Ons kyk vandag na 'n paar besonderse Suid-Afrikaners wat groot drome jaag. 16-jarige Gihanna Pascal vertel van ons van haar lewe op die renbaan en haar internasionale wedrenne. Ons skakel ook met Tatiana sy het 'n verskriklike interessante van. Ek ja.
Tomatos.
Ek het die hele tyd gespot oor tomatoes of tomatoes.
En ek het gaan Google en dit is 'n Griekse van wat eintlik sê hulle kom van Thomas af. Dis nie tomaties nie.
Tatiana, ons kan nie wag om met jou te gesels nie na haar goue medalje by die onder 17 wêreldkampioenskappe in moderne vyfkamp. Suid-Afrika se nasionale barista kampioen, Musa Mosikile, vertel van sy pad na die EMEA kampioenskap in Londen. En dan kom Heidi met Peter gesels as deel van 'n voorsmaakie met haar nuwe enkelsnit. Ja, vas in my kop.
Vas in my kop.
Ja,
Met hierdie Peter.
met hierdie Peter.
Daar's
Dit nie anders nie.
Luister nou, ek dink ons almal is dit eens dat ons nie ons dag kan begin sonder 'n bietjie koffie nie, nê.
Sawwe lyfie. Man.
Mens raak so afhanklik, baie maklik afhanklik van 'n ou koppie koffie.
En daar's baie mense wat wel nie koffie drink nie, snaaks genoeg, né?
Daar is
Maar daai mense voel ek is dan weer verslaaf aan Red Bull.
Of iets anders.
Kom ek stel dit so, ek voel daai mense wat nie van koffie hou nie. Ek dink 'n mens moet versigtig wees vir hulle. Ek dink hulle is gevaarlik. Dit maak nie vir my sin nie.
Ja.
Dit maak nie vir my sin nie.
Koffie doen tog ietsie. Ek sit nou die dag en ek sê, "Wel, ek kan nou nie voordat ek gimnasium toe gaan 'n koffietjie drink nie." Toe haal iemand hier vir my 'n ding uit wat sê, ek dink dit was Lorraine, ons gemeerkunstenaar.
Die make-up girl.
Ja, die make-up girl.
Ja.
Toe sê sy vir my, "Pira, dit gaan nie net oor hoe jy lyk as jy by die gym instap nie, maar 'n koffietjie doen actually vir jou goed." Voordat jy gaan gym.
That's good to know.
En ek gaan nou nog 'n interessante
Deel
feit
met
met julle
ons,
deel.
asseblief.
Maar vir eers moet ons nou uitkom by hierdie storie. So vir sommige van julle begin die dag dan nou eers na daardie eerste sluk koffie. Vir sommige van julle, ons almal. Dit is die ritueel wat die dag afskop, maar volgens nuwe navorsing is daardie warm brousel dalk veel meer liewer as net 'n energiehupstoot. Dit kan dalk jou brein se beste vriend wees. 'n Onlangse berig in The New York Times waarin daar beweer word dat 2 tot 3 koppies koffie per dag die risiko vir demensie moontlik kan verlaag, het die wêreld laat regop sit. Maar hier is die vangplek. Dit geld blykbaar nie vir kafeïnvrye koffie nie. Groot bevolkingsstudies toon dat mense wat matig koffie drink na mate hulle ouer word, dikwels beter breingesondheid geniet. Navorsers het opgemerk dat hierdie groep stadiger geheueverlies ervaar, 'n kleiner kans het om Alzheimer te ontwikkel en sterker breinverbindings behou. Nou dit lyk of kafeïen die sleutelbestanddeel is wat die brein beskerm. Dit blok spesifieke reseptore wat help om inflammasie in die brein te beveg en senuweeselle teen skade te beskerm. Boonop gee dit jou breinchemie 'n hupstoot deur dopamien en serotonien vry te stel. Koffie is een van die rykste bronne van antioksidante in die moderne dieet en stowwe soos polyfenole en klorogeensuur veg teen oksidatiewe stres wat breinveroudering en siektes soos Parkinson se siekte aanhelp. Voor jy egter die hele pot leeg drink, onthou dat meer nie noodwendig beter is nie. 2 tot 3 koppies is ideaal vir breinbeskerming. 5+ koppies kan lei tot hartklopings, angs en slegte slaap, wat juis vir jou brein skadelik is. Demensiekeners waarsku dat koffie nie 'n wondermiddel is nie. Jou leefstyl wat jy eet, hoeveel jy beweeg en hoe goed jy slaap, bly die belangrikste dele van die legkaart. En as jou koffie boonop gelaai is met suiker en stroop, kanselleer jy waarskynlik die voordele uit. Daai is interessant een. Ek het nog nooit koffie met stroop geniet nie.
Ja. Ek het ook altyd nogal gedink die angs en die hartklopings en goed as ek geswat het.
Ja.
het,
Gehelp eintlik.
dit was dalk my angs oor die studies. Maar nou kom ek agter is daai koffie wat ek so gedrink het.
Wel, weet jy wat, dit was vir my wel interessant. Ek het dit onlangs raak gelees, jy wat nou so verwys het na die sessie by die gimnasium. Blykbaar, as jy koffie drink voordat jy 'n eiltjie knip of 'n sogenaamde power nap gevang het,
Ja?
dan kan jy 'n bietjie meer energiek dan wakker word. Maar jy moet dan nou seker maak jy slaap net vir 20 minute. So jy drink jy koffie voor die tyd, gaan slaap en as jy wakker word, voel jy blykbaar soos 'n nuwe mens.
Lekker.
Dit is so interessant. Want en ek kan nie wag om nog meer van koffie te hoor met Musa Musikili nou nie.
Ja.
Maar ook wil ek julle vertel van wat Cyril nou onlangs aangevang het.
Asseblief.
Tel.
Ons president.
Hoorie, president Cyril Ramaphosa het verlede week tydens 'n toespraak by die Universiteit van KwaZulu-Natal probeer om sy innerlike Gen Z in te span. Terwyl hy die studente verwelkom het hy besluit om die gewilde klokket handgebaar te gebruik. In die saal was die studente mal daaroor, maar toe daardie video op TikTok en Instagram beland het die vibe vinnig verander. Terwyl die president in sy toespraak erkenning gegee het aan die jeug en genoem het dat hy baie by die jeug leer, was die reaksie aanlyn alles behalwe warm. Die kommentaarafdelings het binne minute van kritiek oorgeloop. Die gewildste reaksie was kort en kragtig. Kan hy asseblief eerder die jeugwerkloosheidssyfer klok? Baie jong mense voel dat sulke gebare ongevoelig is terwyl die land met enorme krisisse worstel. Julle?
Ek het dit nog nie. Wat is klok?
Okay, ek het geweet ek gaan julle met sê.
Ja, laat dit nie.
Klok beteken soos yes, you go girl of ja, hierdie, of soos klokket, applaus of praat daaroor.
Baie dankie.
So, ek dink die president probeer hip and happening wees, maar ek dink hy vergeet die jeug is
Nee,
ook
die
slimmer
president.
as wat hy dink.
Laat.
Ek het gemengde gevoelens daaroor. Ek dink ja, ons worstel met baie kwessies wat uitgesorteer moet word, maar vir my persoonlik is dit oulik wanneer mense in van daai kaliber
Ja.
of in daai posisies ook die jongste neigings half implementeer.
Dalk iets wat onverwags ook gewees, net dat dit so 'n surprise vir die ouens was.
Ja,
Maar is nou jammer. Ek stem saam met julle dat hy nou na die tyd.
En hy het so lekker
gekritiseer.
gelag daaroor.
dis kom ons
Hey.
kan kyk nou.
Hey.
Maar ek is ook eintlik trots op die jeug dat hulle
Ja.
nog steeds besef, okay, kan ons nie flous met hierdie nie. Ons
Ja.
moet nog steeds fokus op wat belangrik is. So, go Cyril.
Hy het net daai voetjie so half in die deur probeer
Ja.
kry om te sê, ouens, ek is hier ook vir julle. Hey.
Ja,
Maar nee, ja, ek wil net nog 'n stywer in die werke gooi.
vinniger.
En ek wil net sê, nadat ons oor koffie gesels het, dink ek moet ons bietjie gesels oor tee ook. Tee is blykbaar net so gesond.
Dit is. Ek
Ons
is
sal
net
dit
so 'n
bietjie eendag
groot teedrinker ook.
Rooibos en al daai lekker dingetjies, ja.
Ja.
Kyk, rooibos het ons besluitdag gesê, gaan maan toe en so. Ek
Hy
is
het nou iets nuuts geleer.
ja,
Ek love it.
ek het altyd daai ene probeer wat hulle vrouens kan mos die koppies so gooi.
Okay.
Ek kan
Nou,
dit
jy
nie,
kry.
maar hierdie enetjie lyk vir my lekker.
Maar net een nacht.
Awesome. Goeiemôre, baie welkom by. Goeiemôre, good morning. Ons het sommer jou lekker saam met ons kuier. Bly net waar jy is. Ons is nou weer terug met die beste, die lekkerste en die warmste geselsies. Net hier.
Klok het.
August is Women's Month, and we are celebrating women making a difference in all different areas of everyday life. Meet the 16-year-old leaving the world in her rearview mirror. While most teens are just dreaming of driving, Gianna Pascal is already tearing up international Formula 4 tracks. Handpicked for an elite global driver program and currently heading to Angola to fly the SA flag on a major African karting grid. Today, we're chatting with Gianna about breaking barriers and her life at 200 kilometers per hour. Goeiemôre, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
I have to tell you, I think you are actually living my dream, but we will get to that a little bit later. What was that first spark that got you hooked on the smell of burnt rubber and high speeds?
In the beginning, I didn't really have that spark. It was more just a hobby with dad and something that we both shared a passion about. But as I got faster and felt that need for speed, that's when I really got that spark. And it was like, this is where I belong. This is what I want to do in that future.
But you only started karting at 11, which is actually quite late. So how did you manage to catch up so quickly?
All of my competitors more started at 5, 6. One of them even started at 3. So it was
Wow.
so it was a lot of catching up to do, but that was all Dad's doing that got me all caught up. It was 150 laps a day, 5 days a week at the track. Didn't matter if it was after school, before school, it was 150 good laps every single day.
Now, you've now moved on to Formula 4. So before we continue, I would just like you to explain what exactly does Formula 4 entail?
So a Formula 4 is gears,
Yes.
clutches, all of that. So it's a mini Formula 1. So you have Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, and then you have the big leagues, Formula 1, which is where I want to go. So it's very different to a kart, because in a kart, it's literally push pedals, turn a steering wheel, just a little bit more intense than people think. And now in a Formula 4, it's take off with the clutch, gas, brake, a much harder brake pedal to press, make sure you're hitting the right gears. Now you can't look behind you, you have to use your mirrors, which is something I was definitely not used to in the beginning. And now you're also strapped in, so with your seatbelts, and it's just so crazy because you can't really move, whereas in a kart, like you could lean forwards, you could look back to see who is behind you. Now you're in your little position and
Wow.
you just turning your steering wheel, trying to make the fastest time.
It sounds like such a thrill. What is your favorite part of it?
There's too many favorite parts, to be honest. I think my favorite part is just putting on that helmet and knowing that I am the best and that I can be the best. So I think that's definitely my favorite part, but also just getting to experience what I have at my age, like traveling so much for something that I love.
Mm.
That's also another one of my favorite parts.
And I think that mindset is so important. Who is your favorite Formula 1 driver?
A lot of people hate that I say this, but Max Verstappen.
Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense. He's a good driver.
Yeah.
Most of them are. Okay, so, but I would like to ask you, you are a firm believer that female racers should be in the main mix from day one, not just in separate categories. So why is that all-in approach so important when you take a look at this specific sport?
Well, sorry, could you repeat the question?
So you are a firm believer that female racers should be in the main mix from day one and not just in separate categories. Why do you think that is so important?
Well, I think it's important because at the end of the day, we all started at the same point. Why can't we end at the same point? Us girls and women have proved ourselves in the beginning in karting. So why can't we prove ourselves in Formula 1? I think it's just a team taking that risk and that big step of, okay, let's put a female in and let's see what she can do. So I think at the end of the day, it's just one of us girls, hopefully me, showing off our talent and one of those Formula 1 teams being like, geez, yes, let's go. But we have F1 Academy and all the girls in F1 Academy are really showing off their talent. Like Doreen Pin got her Formula 1 drive in a Mercedes. So she showed off her talent there, and you never know. Maybe we'll have Doreen pinning a Formula 1 car next year.
Absolutely. You've spoken about wanting to be seen as a racer first rather than just a female racer. So do you still feel like you have to drop the hammer, if I can put it that way, extra hard, just to feel like you belong?
Well, from my experiences, everyone has really treated me as a racing driver, not as a female racing driver, which has been amazing, because some of the stories that you hear where it's girls get treated disrespectfully on the track and off, and people are like, you don't belong in the sport because you're a girl. And it's just like, why say that? I've proved to myself I've put in the work to be here, and I mean, like, I'm winning, so obviously I can be here even if I am a girl. But I definitely think that it's just people's mindsets of women can't do this, women can't do that. But all of us have proved that we can be here and that we can do it.
Exactly, and everybody's working very hard.
Yeah.
Everybody. Okay, so you've been selected as one of only 5 drivers worldwide for the More Than Equal Driver Development Program. So can you tell us a bit more about that specific program?
So More Than Equal is a development program founded by David Coulthard,
Yes.
an old Formula One driver. And their mission is to find the first female Formula One champion. So what they do is they send us out on these camps. So in a few weeks, I have a camp in Manchester. It's called a profiling camp, where we test our bodies to the limit. So we do a VO2 max test where we literally run until we can't anymore.
Wow. Yeah.
And then we do trunk testing, we do jump testing, and people, whenever I tell them that we do jump testing, they're like, jumping? Why is that important? And it's just to show that our legs have enough power.
Mm-hmm.
So we do all of that testing to make sure that our program that we're on, that's set by our physical coaches, is actually working. And we're not getting weaker, we're actually getting stronger. And then we also do lots of driving camps, which are always the most fun. We get to drive different cars. Like I've driven a Formula 4, a Ginetta. I drove a road car on a skid pad, which is something I would never say that I could do, but they've taught me how to do it. But they also support us with an amazing team of driver coaches, physical coaches, and like whenever we're down, it's not like us girls are just trying to be stronger than each other and stuff like that. I think most people would think that it's like that, but really we have a good support team with each other. Whenever something goes wrong in one of our races or whenever we have an up, the first thing that you go to is your phone and you just see a whole bunch of messages from all the other girls saying like, well done, that was amazing, or don't worry, you'll get them next time. So it's just an amazing team of support. And whenever you're feeling down, they're always there for you. And they've given me so many opportunities.
I think that is so incredible to hear as well, because that's the way it should be. We've got like a minute left, so I want to ask you quickly, when you picture the next few years of your career, how far are you hoping this journey can take you?
All the way to Formula One. That's my main goal. But to be honest, I'll be happy with driving anything in the future, whether it's WEC, Formula One Academy, Formula One, whatever it is, I'll be happy with driving it.
And I think people underestimate the level of fitness, within this regard. So all that we can say is good luck with this dream. I think we believe in you. We really do. And it's going to be very exciting to keep an eye on you and to see what you are going to achieve in future. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nou ja, toe, soos jy kan sien, hoe sê hulle nou weer, groot gif, klein botteltjies, maar hoe dit ook al sê, bly gerus ingeskakel hier by Goeiemôre, Good Morning, want ons is net hierna weer terug. Intussen herinner ek jou aan ons sosiale media platforms, om op hoogte te bly van al die belangrike dinge waarvan jy moet weet, ook dinge hier agter die skerms, en dan kan jy ook 'n draai gaan maak op ons YouTube kanaal, om weer na interessante en insiggewende en inspirerende gesprekke te gaan kyk en te luister. Soos hierdie een wat sopas agter die rug is. Ons is nou weer terug.
Goeiemôre, good morning. Tatiana Tomatos recently took gold in the Women's Under-17 Modern Pentathlon World Championships in Lithuania after an incredible laser run finish. She's currently in Cairo, Egypt, where she's preparing for the Under-19 World Championships in Madrid later this month. So we're catching up with her all the way from there. Tatiana, firstly, congratulations and thank you so much for your time. When you went across the line, what went through your mind when you realized you were an Under-17 world champion?
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me today. When I crossed the line, it didn't hit me quite yet. About 10 minutes afterwards, I realized what I've just done, and I was actually so shocked, and I was so happy that all my hard work really paid off, and it was just such an amazing feeling.
So your gold medal came after that incredible laser run of yours. Was that part of the plan, or did the race just develop that way naturally for you, organically almost?
Honestly, I was actually so happy with silver already, but the last 2 laps, my coach started motivating me to just fight for the gold and just go for it. And I just did, and I just pushed myself all the way to the limit, and the crowd just brought me home, and I got the gold. It was just amazing.
Quite clearly it was. Obviously, your coach plays a massive role in what you do. Talk to us about what he means to you from the sidelines and obviously during your training.
He's quite a new coach to me. I started coaching, or like he started coaching me this year in Cairo, and we have such a strong bond, and I just trust him so much. Like he just is so amazing, and he's more than a coach. He helps with everything, and I'm just so grateful to have him.
Modern pentathlon requires you to master fencing. There's the obstacle racing, swimming, and the laser run. Which discipline is your biggest strength? Firstly, let's start there.
The running has always been my biggest strength. It's also one of my favorite disciplines, so I would definitely say the running.
And dare I ask, which one still needs a little bit of work?
A lot of them. Pentathlon, you're constantly going to have a weaker discipline, and you're always going to be working on that weaker discipline until it's not weak anymore. But then you have a new weaker discipline, so you're constantly building and getting everything better together.
Just explain to our viewers exactly what the modern pentathlon is all about. I mean, you've got the 5 disciplines, but how does it all work together?
I would say the fencing is very important because it puts you in a really nice, strong position. And obstacle course racing, it's a lot of fun, and it kind of maintains your position if you do a clean run with no falling. Same with the swimming. If you do a nice fast time, it also just maintains your position. But the laser run is the most important because you start with a staggered start with how many points behind you are. And that's when you can really like gain positions and work towards a medal. But the shooting is very difficult because you're out of breath and you have to concentrate and stay still and not worry about the other people in your race.
I was going to ask you about that. That's obviously one of the really tough parts of the laser run is that you've run hard, you're anaerobic, you are really breathing very deeply. How do you settle that down? Because that's one of the arts of modern pentathlon, isn't it?
Yes, a lot of practice to get my breathing controlled, but I just try and focus on my gun and myself. I don't worry about anyone else behind me or next to me, just to focus on myself and keep myself calm. Really does help.
I want to try and get into your head here. How do you actually do that? How do you actually slow your breathing and as a result, your heart rate down when you've got to do the laser run and the shooting?
I just focus on my breathing, take slow, steady breaths, but honestly, I'm still very out of breath when I get to the shooting, so...
I understand that completely. You were already a world champion bronze medalist in 2025. How did that last year's medal at the World Champs prepare you for what you won just a while ago? And of course, obviously, what you're now preparing for in Cairo?
Honestly, last year, it was a lot easier because it was on my home soil and there weren't as many European countries competing, and Europe is very good. So I knew this year was going to be a lot harder because there were a lot of European nations and a lot of strong girls. So I didn't really go with the expectation to win a gold. I went there to just improve on every discipline, and I somehow won.
I see that you're outside, and I just saw a runner go by. Are you already on a track there? Are you already training? Are you?
Yes, I have swimming after this, but everyone else is running today now.
It looks like it's beautiful there. You've achieved a heck of a lot already at a very young age. When did you first realize that you have the potential to become a world-class pentathlete?
When I was 13, I started doing my first international pentathlon, and I absolutely fell in love with the sport, and I knew that I wanted to continue doing pentathlon. But I still consider myself in the development stage. So, yes, but I'll continue doing this forever.
So it sounds to me like between the lines you saying that this is just the beginning. You haven't even really hit your straps yet. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
Brilliant. What does it mean for a South African, a young South African such as yourself, to stand on the top step of the podium and then hear Nkosi Sikeleli play just for you?
Wow, that in that moment it really sunk in. Like I was just like, wow, I actually did this. And it was just a very emotional moment. And I was trying not to look at my mom because I knew the emotions would take over.
Were you able to control it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Glad to hear that. So you've competed against athletes from all over the world already, and the experience obviously is stacking up. Where do you think we rank as far as South African pentathletes are concerned on the international stage?
I would consider that South Africa is a developing country with pentathlon because we're quite new to it, but we're definitely improving every year. Every year we're always getting better and better. So I'm actually very proud of us.
And so you should be, but you're pioneering and you're leading there. So congratulations on that. We really see that and we laud you for it. Modern pentathlon has changed significantly with obstacle racing replacing horse riding. Do you enjoy the new format and what do you think makes that more exciting for our spectators?
I was never able to do the horse riding because I was too young, but I'm so happy that they changed it to obstacle course racing because the feeling of flying through the obstacles is so amazing. And it's also just so much fun to watch. It's definitely like my favorite discipline to watch. It's just amazing.
Again, please explain to our viewers, when you say obstacle racing, give us an insight into some of the obstacles that you have to face.
We have to face monkey bars, rings, balance beam. I would say the rings are my favorite because you just fly through it very like in the air and it's amazing.
So Tatiana Tomatos is now a world champion. What's next?
I have under 19 World Championships coming up, and after that I'm going to take a small break and then I'll start preparing for the new season. And my coaches have a very busy and exciting year planned for me next year with lots of competitions, and I trust that they will lead me to all my goals.
I really believe that that is around the corner for you. Tatiana, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate that very much. And keep the South African flag flying. Train hard there in Cairo.
Thank you so much.
Until the next time. Nou ja, bly ingeskakel want so gepraat van kampioene, jy nou ooit met 'n koffiekampioen gepraat, 'n barista wat goue medaljes inpalm. Dis net hierna.
South Africa's national barista champion, Musa Nkosi Mosekile, joins us today. He is currently preparing to represent South Africa at the EMEA Championship in London, where he'll go up against some of the best baristas from across the region. We're chatting to him about his win at the national final at Starbucks Reserve in Melrose Arch, the people who inspired him, and what it takes to turn a simple cup of coffee into a real connection. Goeiemôre, good morning, Musa. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm fine, thanks, and yourselves.
I'm doing great. So let's start at the beginning. How is it that you became a barista?
So it all started back in 2023 when I found myself facing some issues with university. I had some financial issues. So that's when I realized that I had to do something else with my life, or in the meantime. So that's how I presented myself to Starbucks Gateway to be specific. It was October, November in 2023, and that's where the whole journey started, basically.
That's so cool. So tell us about the national finals at Starbucks Reserve. How did you decide you were going to compete?
So throughout my years of working as a barista, I've been getting a lot of comments from guests and especially from our partners as well, encouraging me to take part in Starbucks championships. So I was skeptical at first, but I had to do it, do it for myself and for the people who believed in me, from partners in store to my store manager, my district manager, Mr. Sanesh. Teams was being there throughout the journey, and now I have the whole of South Africa as my support system. So it's been a beautiful journey so far.
Oh, that's so nice. So you've said that for you, this championship isn't really about the trophy now. You said it's connecting with people. But what exactly does that connection look like when you're behind the coffee counter?
So for me, coming to work has turned into something I look forward to every single day. Um, every shift has brought in a new piece of information towards me as an individual, and every piece of that information has fueled my personal and professional development, which is why my job has basically turned into my craft. So yeah, it's something worth looking forward to, basically.
And your winning drink is the Caramel Comfort Cold Brew, and it was inspired by your mom. Tell us a little bit about the drink and how she influenced it.
Yes. So the Caramel Comforts Cold Brew is a deeply personal tribute to the nurturing nature of my adorable mother. Look, I've always wanted to make her proud, especially reflecting on the hard work she's put in towards making me become the person that I am today, especially from a young guy coming from the township. I've got a solid foundation which has shaped me being the person that I am today. So each ingredient in that drink says something about her, which turns the whole experience into giving you a hug in a mug, basically.
Oh, well, you said now about the ingredients, and there are quite a few elements to this drink. Did you know exactly what you wanted from the
Yes.
start, or was it a lot of experimenting?
So definitely a lot of experimenting as well. But from the get-go, I knew I wanted to do something for her as my mother, as a deeply personal tribute, which of course came with a lot of experimenting. In the meantime, Starbucks and Hilcrest store partners, we're buzzing with coffee. Me and Teddy, we're buzzing with coffee, drinking coffee every single day. But hey, the drink basically it's a picture of my mother, and yeah, it definitely came with a lot of experimenting. I don't want to lie, but it came out to be
Well,
good. The
yes.
outcome, yes.
And you joined Starbucks in 2023, but now you're heading to London in September for the EMEA Championship. Are you excited, nervous, or a bit of both?
Well, I'm excited. Mostly, I'm excited. The nerves are starting to kick in as the days are, but definitely I'm excited and I'm looking forward to meeting other barista champions, meeting other enthusiastic people who I really believe which will even grow me even as an individual. And I'm also looking forward to traveling the world while doing exactly what I love doing almost every single day, which is making coffee.
Oh, yes, and I heard you're also going to be visiting the Starbucks coffee roasting plant in Amsterdam. What are you hoping to learn from that experience?
Yes, yes. I'm hoping to learn what is it that Starbucks roasters and blenders put, or what's their secret ingredients, which is one of the questions that I really like to ask them. What's their secret ingredients that makes our guests here at Starbucks come back for a cup of coffee that just feels better than the one they had yesterday? Because there has to be a secret somewhere, somehow. So I'm also just looking to learn more about roasting coffee from the first 10 feet to the middle 10 feet, which is the roasters, and how the journey comes to us as the last 10 feet, which is the baristas.
Well, look, you're such an incredible influence. Where do you get the power and the strength to stand up each morning and be such a great influence on your environment and your social surroundings?
So for me, it started with the people around me. They really showed me that they believe in me. And when the people around you believe in you, that even grows your confidence even as an individual. Because for me, before Starbucks, I was sort of like an introvert who's always alone. I've never spoken in front of people. But because of the confidence I've had from the people around me, I think that's really shaped me into being the barrister that I am today. So yeah, the support system around me, it's another thing, I'm telling you.
Oh, That's
people are
wonderful.
rooting for me, which is beautiful.
Yes, and so now
From
you've
the store
reached this
manager.
level. Do you still enjoy making yourself a normal cup of coffee at home? What's the secret ingredient at home?
Well, I'm not a fast food person, so I still do enjoy myself a cup of coffee at home. But I had the privilege of winning my own brewing method in the Starbucks National Championships. So, and I also had a coffee. So now I can just brew myself a beautiful pour over at home, and I really enjoy it. So yeah.
Oh, and you're inviting all your friends to come and join you.
Oh yes, I'm even showing him the brewing techniques, how to actually brew coffee. I'm actually brewing some baristas even in the community.
That is so great. Well, Musa, thank you so much for joining us today and good luck with the championship. We are rooting for you all the way here in South Africa. Nou, bly net waar julle is. Dit is tyd vir julle om nou julle koffie te gaan optop, want ons het nog so baie lekker dinge. Heidi is hier met haar nuwe enkelsnit vas in my kop en sy gaan 'n bietjie vir ons sing. So ja, kyk uit vir dit, gaan top op daai koffie. Ons is nou weer terug met Pieter en Heidi.
Goeiemôre, good morning.
Baie lekker om jou hier by ons te hê, man.
Dankie, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Is nou vir my wonderlik om jou hier te hê. En ek wil ook nou net bietjie teruggaan ook vir van die mense wat nou nog wonder, my maggies, wie is hierdie mooi sprankelende nuwe gesig? Inderdaad is dit al 'n ou gesiggie.
Ja.
Maar jy was een van die eerste tweelinge wat in Zastron gebore is, né?
Jep, ek was, Jesus, kan jy dit glo?
Lekker.
Die mooiste een ook.
Ja, ek vat jou woord daarvoor. Ek glo dit en nou van die Vrystaat af na Pretoria toe en hier is jy nou net lekker gemaklik.
Dis amazing. Ek love it hier. Dis regtig die lekkerste plek om te bly. Ek sê nou daarvoor ook ek dink nie ek sal ooit weer terugtrek nie. Die Jesus het geweet hier moet ek 'n loopbaan maak en dit gaan werk hier en ek's baie gelukkig.
Altyd lekker om Vrystaat toe te gaan, seker maar 'n bietjie familie en goed daar te gaan sien, maar vir nou die familie maar 'n bietjie hier kom kyk.
Naweek is ek moeg, dan kom ek terug.
Hoorie, vertel vir my van Vas in my kop.
So dit is 'n liedjie wat Emile Paul eintlik self geskryf het en ek wil baie graag net Heidi stempel in die skryfproses en met die melodie. En ja, toe verander ons die liedjie so 'n bietjie en ek is regtig baie excited. So hy word eintlik vrygestel op my man se anniversary wat volgende week is 10 jaar al getroud. Dit is eintlik maar 'n liedjie vir my man ook en hy gaan ook saam met my in die video verskyn. So ek is baie excited.
Ek het stok gehou om vir hom gesê jy beter saam met my in hierdie musiekvideo wees, glo ek.
Hy het nie 'n ander keuse nie.
Hoor het ook 'n lekker country pop klank. Jy het spesifiek vir dit gegaan?
Ja, country is mos nou maar my favorite en soos jy sien Raymond op die gitaar, ek soek proper gitare in my track want dit is net so dit is waarvan ek hou, ja.
Ja, baie lekker. Maar jy is self nie bang vir die gitaar nie?
Ja, maar jy sien, ek kan net 'n paar note speel, dus ek moet maar iemand betaal om dit vir my te doen. Nee, ag met die kinders, mens, ek weet ek moet meer oefen en meer gitaar speel, maar my lewe is maar besig, jong.
Hoorie, maar gesels 'n bietjie oor die kinders, ook 'n lekker aanhang en hulle hou van mamma en alles wat sy doen.
Ek is regtig so geseënd om 'n ma te kan wees. Ek is baie lief vir my kinders. Hulle is nou 5, Hendra is 5 en Luan is 3 en hulle maak net my lewe so vol. Hulle aanvaar dat mamma sing en dit my werk is en hulle as ek by die huis kom na 'n gig dan dra Hendra my gitaar op sy tas en ja, en hulle sing ook die hele dag en ons het 'n liedjie vir tandeborsel en aantrek en iets van alles. So ek betrek hulle regtig en deur die week maak ek maar op om baie tyd saam met hulle te spandeer omdat ek naweke werk.
En dis juist ook hoekom ek praat van die aanhang want jy is op sosiale media as hulle ook nogal.
Hoor jy hulle? My kleintjie het nogal bietjie viral gegaan op my TikTok. Ek is nogal ek is nie baie happy daaroor nie want ek kry dit nie reg nie. Maar dit is nogal awesome om te sien en ek is bly dat ek dat ek sulke oulike kinders het, dat letterlik as ek in die winkel loop, sê iemand vir my, hoorie, waar's, ek sê daai ding kind,
Ja.
en dit is nogal cute.
Maar oulike
hy's
pappa en 'n
baie-
oulike mamma, dis hoekom jy oulike kinders het, maar ek het so 'n stukkie saamgebring van een van daardie sosiale
my
media
God.
treffers. Kom ons loer gou hierso.
Ek sê jou daai ding.
Wat gaan pappa doen?
My broertjie gaan daar nie blans nie,
Hoekom?
want hy's stout.
Wat het hy gedoen?
Hy los die yskas oop.
Dit is frikenstout. Daai kind,
Hy gaan sommer in sy kamer sit.
dis 'n beter plan. Yes, sê jy. Kinders,
Wat is stout as jy?
Oh,
Is slim. Hy sê kinders wat is stout is nie is slim.
Hoorie nou, is dit maar 'n ding wat hulle ook soos wat jy ons weet mos maar die Hollywood slogan wat sê lights camera action en die oomblik as hulle sien mamma neem nou af, kom maar ietsie anders dan hulle wakker of vang jy hulle maar op hulle meer natuurlike?
So ek moet sê Hendrey, die ouer enetjie, as hy sien ek neem hom af, wil hy snaaks wees in die sin van hy maak snaakse gesiggies, maar Luan, daai enetjie,
Ja.
hy is definitief 'n entertainer. Hy is regtig, hy weet net wat om te sê vir die regte oomblik. Ek het hulle gister afgeneem waar ek vir hulle sê, hulle moet vir my sê mamma se liedjie is amper beskikbaar. Luan hak af, hy sê, en hier gaan hy. Jy sit vas in my kop. En dit is waar Hendrey is 'n bietjie anders, maar hulle verskil ook baie. So Luan is entertaining, hou baie van sing. Hendrey is baie sport georiënteerd. So hy hou ook van sing, maar hy's nie so entertainer soos Luan nie.
Behalwe vir vas in my kop wat volgende week dan nou vrygestel en bekendgestel gaan word amptelik.
Ja.
Nog ietsie waarna ons kan uitsien wat hierdie jaar aan betref, die bietjie wat oor is?
Net lekker baie show en natuurlik ek wil alles insit vir vas in my kop. So ek wil regtig mense uitnooi om die liedjie te gaan luister.
Man, ons kan nie wag om my musiekvideo uiteindelik ook te kan sien nie. En dankie dat jy so
Dankie.
vroeg opgestaan het. En met 'n klinkhelder stem vir ons kom
Dankie,
verras. En
waardeer.
dankie ook weer eens aan Raymond wat jou gejoin het daar op die gitaar. Nou ja, dis als van ons kant af wat vanoggend aan betref. Ons weet sommer jy het baie lekker saam met ons gekuier synde. Natuurlik in die Gautengse area. Ons voel hier so 'n bietjie meer van 'n somerbries wat nou sy kop begin uitsteek het. Alhoewel in die Kaap verstaan ek is nog 'n bietjie koel. Môre is ons terug met ons hoogtepunte program en dan weet ons sommer jy gaan ook hierdie naweek ten volle geniet met al die rugby en die dinge wat voor lê, nê? All Blacks en die Bokke. Dis al van ons kant af vir vandag. Mooi bly mooi en sorg dat jy nooit ophou droom nie.